welcome back to my channel. My name is Elena, and if you're new to this channel, in this channel I make lots of different videos on my experience working in the bank, the interview questions and answers, and just my experience and my career journey. So if you're interested, please don't forget to subscribe for more videos. Hi guys, before I start this video, I wanted to quickly let you guys know that I have added a new feature to my channel. It is called personalized questions. So this feature allows you to ask me any question about your specific situation and I can answer it within 24 hours. The reason I've added these features is because I get a lot of comments every day and sometimes I miss a lot of your comments. So this will allow me to answer you faster and be able to recognize your specific questions. You can ask me literally anything about your job interview, any questions you have, anything you want me to clear up. There's also other features where I go live every week, twice a week. You can also check those different packages. If you are interested in joining this new program, you can actually join there should be a link at the corner of my video where you can join. If you don't see that, I'm putting a link down below as well where you can click and sign up. Thanks guys. So in this video, I wanted to talk to you guys about a very common topic, which is what are the different paths available in your banking career? So I know a lot of you guys had questions on when you work in the bank, what's the next step? For example, if you're a teller, what can you do after that? What are the different paths? Or if you're working on the corporate side, I wanted to talk about that as well and what are the different options in that department. I have personally worked both in the branch and in the corporate banking level, so I can share with you guys my experience and how I moved up different positions and what I needed to do to get to those levels. So to start, I want to talk about the branch. So when you're working in the branch, the entry-level role is usually a teller. When you apply to the bank first, you don't really need experience or education for this position. However, if you do have experience in education, it could help you to remain competitive and actually land the entry-level job. So when you're a bank teller, normally you are in that position for about 2 to 3 years. So with the bank, the good part is that you normally get promoted after every 2 to 3 years. And this depends. So if you're doing really well, you can also get promoted in under 2 years. I've had some colleagues who were promoted in like 6 months, 3 months, and 1 year. So it all depends. But as a general rule, if you're doing okay in your job, normally you have to get promoted within 2 to 3 years. So when you're a teller, normally the next level after that is called a banking advisor. Some banks call this a personal banker, or some call it a different title. However, it is basically the same position, and what you do is basically you get your own office and you get to work on the sales side of things. So when you're a teller, you're doing more of the service, helping clients every day with their transactions. But once you get promoted to the sales side and become a banking advisor, personal banker, that's when you're actually dealing with sales, selling credit cards, dealing with lines of credit, dealing with anyone who basically walks into the branch looking to get a mortgage, somebody who's looking to invest into their accounts. You don't deal directly with mortgages. However, you do provide advice and refer them to a mortgage advisor if you are a banking advisor or a personal banker, as some may call. So normally you are a personal banker, banking advisor, again, for 2 years. However, in this role, it is important for you to meet targets. This one is a bit more tricky to be promoted because you do have targets and sales targets that they look at quarterly. So if you're not really meeting your sales targets, it could take a little bit longer to actually be promoted to the next level. So if you are successful as a banking advisor, the next role after this is normally a financial advisor. And this is very similar actually to a banking advisor or a personal banker. You're still dealing with sales. However, the only difference is that you have more responsibilities and you have higher sales targets. Normally, the financial advisor is known as a more senior advisor. So let's say somebody comes to you as a banking advisor and there's something that you don't really know, or there's a huge amount of money they want to invest and you don't really want to deal with that. You can refer them to a financial advisor who's a more senior person, and they might have more information and maybe give them some more advice. So normally when you're a financial advisor, from here you can go 2 ways. So at this stage, you normally have more than one option. You can either become an assistant branch manager, which is basically a manager for the teller side. So assistant branch manager, or they call it ABM, this is a manager that normally deals with overrides. So let's say one of the tellers need your assistance, they need an override with a huge limit. You're the one who normally gives them an override. You're the one who signs drafts. So normally as a teller, you have to get a second signature. And when you need a second signature, you normally go to the ABM to get a second signature. Or if there's any fraud, let's say that there was a fraud, a teller made a mistake, anything that had to do with an issue, you're the one that's going to be in charge. Another thing to note is that I've heard from a lot of people, from a lot of my colleagues, that an ABM is a very stressful role. And this is because you have to deal with every single issue. Anything that goes wrong, you're in charge. So if the teller made any mistake, you could be held responsible as to why you weren't careful or why you didn't train them properly. You could get in trouble for those type of things that could be out of your control. The assistant branch manager is also normally very busy. You have to deal with lots of clients, just like the tellers see so many clients. You also have to deal with them because they normally come to you for every client, or if they need a draft, if they need an override. So you're normally busy. I wouldn't say it's a job that's so easy. You do need to deal with a lot when you're an assistant branch manager. Now, that's the one path you can choose after a financial advisor. However, there are different paths. Another path that most people choose is a mortgage advisor, mortgage agent, they could call it. This position is basically more independent. In this position, you're dealing with mortgages exactly how it sounds. You deal with pre-approval. So if somebody got approved for a mortgage, pre-approved, you deal with that. If someone wants to get a new mortgage, you're the one that deals with this. So this position is not just based on your base salary. You do get a percentage of sales based on how many mortgages you close. So it is a nice job if you're super into sales and you like to deal with mortgages. Another position you can take is an IRP, which is an investment and retirement planning advisor. So this position, you're also dealing with sales. The only difference is you're dealing more so with retirement planning and investments at a higher level. So if there's somebody who wants to talk about an RSP account, retirement savings plan, or even an RESP, accounts like that, you're basically a subject expert for those type of accounts. You deal with long hours of advice, how to save for retirement. You're more specific. Although banking advisors and financial advisors also deal with these type of clients, however, if they have like a large amount of investment or somebody needs more in-depth advice, they would normally refer them to an IRP to deal with this. Now, this position is also an independent type of role where you get sales percentage and a base salary. Now, after these positions, what's next depends on the role you picked. So if you picked to be a assistant branch manager, the next role after this would be a branch manager, which is basically the manager that deals with the whole entire branch. So you're not on the teller side. You have your own office and you only deal with special requests, such as if the assistant branch manager needs support, you're the one that will go and help out with that. Any issues in the branch, for example, if any employee is not doing well and you need to do a one-on-one with them, you're basically a manager that deals with all of that. Or if you have to do quarterly reviews, yearly reviews with employees, if there's anything like that's bothering an employee, they can request to have a chat with you. You are also mostly involved in a lot of meetings with the senior management, and you're basically dealing with issues for the whole branch. This position to me seemed a little bit more fun and less stressful compared to an ABM because you're more independent. You're not dealing with such big issues that come with customer service and things that tellers need to deal with. Now, these are most of the positions. From there on, you can go either into community branch manager or other types of management positions. If you did choose mortgage agent or an IRP, you normally stick with those roles for a long time because these are more independent roles. And then you can go to any other department that has to do with sales. So like you can do like commercial account manager, or you can do something sales related. However, if you did choose to go in the path of mortgage agent or IRP rather than ABM, you won't get a manager position after this. You will go more into sales roles rather than management positions. So guys, those are all the roles you can get at a branch level. And like I said before, normally 2 to 3 years is the time frame where you can get promoted. Some people also start off at a higher level, so you can start off as a banking advisor or a financial advisor if you have the experience. I have had some colleagues that didn't really have experience and they started off as a banking advisor. If you're good with the interview, if you have some sales experience and you're able to do well, you could start off as a banking advisor, which I highly recommend because for me personally, I started off as a teller and it took me a while to move my way up to a banking advisor and then a financial advisor. But if you start off as a banking advisor, you will just move faster. Now, in terms of the corporate roles, there's several different roles in the corporate world, such as fraud agent, administrative assistant. I used to be a senior administrative assistant. You can do technical roles, you can do cybersecurity, developer. There's a lot of different roles in the corporate. If you guys are interested in knowing more about some of the positions in the corporate side and how to get them, please be sure to comment down below and I can make a separate video talking about those positions. Anyways, thank you so much guys for listening. If you guys like this video, don't forget to subscribe and like and leave a comment if there's anything that I missed.